Hi, and welcome to Las Vegas Advisors Weekly Update with Anthony and Andrew. Today is Wednesday, February 9th, and there is a lot of excitement here in Las Vegas about the Super Bowl coming up.
Yeah, well, Super Bowl week.
Yeah.
That's what everybody comes to Vegas for.
Yeah, they're coming in droves.
New Year's Eve and Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, I've always said this. I said this last week. If I'd rather watch it, if somebody gave me Super Bowl tickets, I would probably not go. I would do something with them. I don't know if I'd sell them or give them to somebody that would really want them. I would rather watch the Super Bowl in Las Vegas than at the stadium, wherever it's being held.
Okay, so you're saying you'd rather be at a sports book or at a cool party than actually go to the game.
Yes, it's just a big deal in Vegas. It has been for years and years.
Yeah.
And, even when the NFL tried to sort of stifle it here with that big game nonsense that we talked about last week, it's just a really big deal with parties and things that, we're going to talk about.
Yeah, okay, so has the line changed?
The line has hardly changed. I mean,
okay.
it is pretty much what it has been. It opened at -4 Rams. It is still -4 Rams. There are some 4.5s around, but mostly it's -4. The total opened at 50, so that's the total amount scored on by both sides.
Okay.
That dropped to 48.5, and it's rock solid. I mean, it's just not moving. So we're looking at 4 and 48.5 right now.
Okay. And there's a lot of people that are really excited. Like you said, there's like so many different types of bets that you can place. One bet that we talked about last week, one that we like to track, is the national anthem. Now, you can't do that in Vegas, right?
Right. You can't bet it in Las Vegas, but everybody watches it.
Yeah.
And, going back a little bit, you're talking about the props. They did as they always do every year. They came out with their proposition bets, which are called the props. All the major sports books did it. Some of them, they all have hundreds of them. And I think that some of them, like William Hill and maybe Westgate, had close to 1,000, if not over 1,000 different bets that you can make. But one of the most interesting ones is the one you bring up that you can't make in Las Vegas. You can only make it offshore, and that is the length of the national anthem.
Right.
All right, so this year it's going to be sung by Mickey Guyton. We've now ascertained who she is. She is
she's
country
great.
western singer. Right?
Wow. Yeah, she's incredible. We didn't know last week, but now we've done our research, and I think she's got an incredible voice, and I'm excited to see her.
Well, we're either just rock and rollers or we're just really square. We just didn't know her because she's country. She's not pop. She's not rap. She's not rock and roll. So we didn't know her.
She's also young. She's new. She's new. So yeah.
All right. So there's not a lot of data on Mickey Guyton. And interesting, the number on the length is 1 minute and 35 seconds, which is extremely low. Okay. That is a really low total. And let me give you some figures that we just dug up with some research here. All right, so the average for all the time that it's been tracked, the average is 1 minute and 56 seconds. Okay. Last year it was 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
Wow. Yeah.
The longest ever was 2 minutes and 35 seconds by Alicia Keys. The shortest was 1:27 by Jewel. So the shortest 1:27, and this one is posted at 1:35 for Guyton.
It's pretty close.
7 of the last 9 years has been 2 minutes or more. So why the low total on Mickey Guyton?
Yeah, why?
Well, because as we said, she's new. There's not much information on her, but she did sing it at one event, and of course somebody went out there and timed it. And it took her. She did it in 1 minute and 16 seconds.
Oh, okay.
So her 135 is adding a bit of fluff into the 116 she did before, thinking of the kind of stretching it out for her big time on the big stage for the Super Bowl.
Right.
So 135 is a real interesting number. It really is.
I think I'm going to take the over on that.
You know what? If you can find it.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's a hard thing to find.
It's an offshore one.
Even a lot of the offshores that used to do it aren't putting it up this year because there tends to be problems in terms of disputes about when it ends.
Right.
All right, because in most places, you've got to look at the rules. Most places, it ends with, I believe, the first syllable of the last word, which is one syllable word, and the home of the brave. So when they start brave, it's supposed to end right there.
Right.
But sometimes they
carry it out.
They carry it out, and they'll say brave again and brave again. I think a good example of that came a few years ago when Gladys Knight sang brave and then sang brave again and then sang brave and there was a big dispute. Was it over? Was it under? So there's not, it's hard to get that bet down.
I would say if she's still singing, then it's not over.
I know. Well, that's where the argument goes.
Yeah. All right. So Anthony, if you can find a line, are you going to bet that?
I probably will.
Okay.
If I can get a line, I will probably bet it. If it's 135, I will probably bet it over.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, this is something that I do. This is something that everybody can do out there. Whether I have a bet or not, I can't wait for it. I can't wait. Every year, I get my stopwatch out, and it's sort of like the start of the whole thing. Everyone thinks that the betting starts with the coin flip, because you can bet on the coin flip. We'll get to that in a second. But it really doesn't. It starts with the national anthem. And I always have my stopwatch out. And as soon as they start, I hit the watch and I watch it. And whether you have a bet or not, you can make a bet with a friend. You can make a friendly bet with a friend, whatever. It's really fun to wait at the last second when she hits brave, stop it, and see where it finishes. That's really a lot of fun, trust me.
Yeah, that's a cool bet. Now, the other one that you were talking about is the coin flip. Now, you can you can also bet a coin flip in Vegas.
Yeah, well, that one you can bet at the casinos. And, usually you have to lay 105 or 110. So you're taking a 50-50 proposition and you're laying 105 or 110, which is a very good example of where the bookie gets his edge. Because let's say you're laying only 105. When you win 100. When you lose 105. So over 2 times, you're going to lose $2.50 average per play. $5 every 2 plays. So there's the bookie edge. Sometimes they put 110 on it. Sometimes they put even more. One place, William Hill, this year has an even bet. So
really?
You can bet 100, get 100 at William Hill, which
so it's
is
a truly 50-50 bet in Vegas.
Yeah, it's what you call a fair wager, meaning that there's no edge on either side. It's a fair wager, and it's worth mentioning.
Okay. Speaking of fair wagers, Mattress Mack has made his wager, right?
He has made a bet.
Yeah.
Yes, he's bet $4.5 million on the money line.
On the Bengals.
On the Bengals. So that means he's taken no points. He bet the Bengals to win. And if the Bengals win outright, he will win $7.7 million, one of the biggest winning bets of all time.
Okay.
If not the biggest. It's just right around there. Meanwhile, his customers will get free furniture.
Okay.
So he'll win $7.7 million. His customers will get all their money back for their furniture, and everybody's going to be happy in Houston.
And it'll be all around happy day. Yeah, that's
Right.
totally cool. But now, also, what parties are going to be going on in Vegas?
There's going to be parties everywhere.
Yeah.
There are literally dozens upon dozens of parties. They really run the gamut. I mean, I saw Sapphire, the strip club, has levels. So for $100, you can watch it there and get a buffet. For $250, you can watch it there and get drinks in a buffet. For $2,000, you can get drinks in a buffet in a skybox.
Oh, yeah.
That sort of thing. STK Steak over at Cosmopolitan. They have, $2.99 or $3.99, depending on how fancy you want your food and drinks to be. And they are all over the place. One that I like, a lot of opportunity, starts at $110, comes with food and drink, is Ellis Island.
Oh, yeah.
We're always talking about Ellis Island, and we can't help it because they're just really good when it comes to value.
Well, that's a great deal.
Yeah, well, they're going to be it's going to be a full buffet, and all their their drinks. It's beer, wine, and liquor.
Yeah.
Or you can go into the front yard for more money, which is a nicer place, or you can go into the karaoke room. Whatever. But Ellis Island is a good thing.
Yeah, that front yard's really nice at Ellis Island.
Yeah, it is. Those who don't know what they want to do, we've got a big list up at LasVegasAdvisor.com. I mean, the researchers have been loading them and loading them and loading them as we've been finding them, and there are, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 different choices there.
Okay, and they have the choices and the prices, and it's a lot of information. If you're looking for something cool, go to LasVegasAdvisor.com and pick a party for the Super Bowl for yourself.
And as I've said over and over and over again, you don't even have to go to a party. If you just hang out in a sports book, it's going to be wild. I'll probably bar hop.
Okay.
I'll jump from place to place, or maybe a private party or something like that.
All right. So the Las Vegas Advisor researchers have been busy with the Super Bowl parties and updating that list, but our buffet list has recently been updated as well.
Yes, this is something that we've been doing for a long time. We've always taken pride in our buffet listings are as good as you're going to find anywhere. And we've been discussing about more content. And you and I are going to start hitting these buffets. There's only 12 of them, but most of them have breakfast, lunch, dinner, or at least 2 of those. So we're looking at 24 to 36 options here.
Okay.
And we're going to start looking at them. But we thought we'd start by putting up a list that shows the lowest price to the highest price at each of the 12 buffets. And it should be on your screen right about now. And this is the most recent information. Lowest, again, is $10.95 when you use your club card for breakfast at South Point. Highest, kind of ridiculous, and as far as I'm concerned, $79.99 for dinner at Caesar's Palace of Bacchanal. I mean, it's a good buffet, but $80, I don't think so.
Yeah, and just as a side note, you had said that Bellagio had lowered their price to in the 40s.
Well, when you look at the list,
Yeah.
you know that's up on or was or is up on the screen. What jumps out is Bellagio, where you see all these real, you know, either relatively low prices in the $20 range, or really high prices, you know, that are, you know, going all the way up to the 60s and 70s. And you look at Bellagio and say it's in the 40s. What's that all about?
Yeah.
And the reason, I think, is from reports we've been getting, is that the Bellagio buffet has gone down quite a bit. Since it's reopened, it's there, but it's not the grandiose, you know,
King crab
banquet
legs
that they used to have. Yeah.
A lot of meats and king crab legs and
Right.
sushi and.
So that's going to be one of the first ones that we try. We're going to go find out why it's in the 40s. Has it been diminished, or is it a value?
Yeah, and I'm excited to do that. So that'll be coming up soon. So unfortunately, right now, there's no Adele and no Celine Dion performing in Las Vegas, but the Legends in Concert show has a solution for you.
Yes, the solution, according to them, what they've been promoting is that, you know, this is a celebrity impersonator show, right? Legends in Concert, one of the longest running of that type, and they have impersonators for both Celine and Adele.
Super cool.
So there you go. If you want to see Celine and Adele and you can't see them for real because both of them canceled at their respective venues, you can go to Legends in Concert and see their a representative performance. I would guess. Better yet, if you can show proof of having had a ticket to either Celine or Adele, you can get into Legends for free.
There you go. You heard it here.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Especially if you really wanted to come see either of them in Vegas, you can.
And you know what? And Legends is a really good show.
Yeah.
It is probably the longest running impersonator show. There have been a number of them over the years, like American Superstars. There was a lot of female impersonator shows. You know, early back in the 80s and 90s. I think there was one, Divas at the Riviera, and the one that went even before that was one called Kenny Kerr's Boylesque.
Boylesque.
He used to play at the Silver Slipper.
Nice.
And everyone would go see Kenny Kerr after shift, or it was sort of like something you had to do when you came to Vegas. So the impersonator shows have been going for a long time. Legends in Concert is still here, and it's worth a go.
All right, usually we do a jackpot of the week, but this one comes to you actually from the Las Vegas Advisor. We thought it was noteworthy, and we wanted to comment on it. A slot player hit a $230,000 progressive jackpot at Treasure Island on January 8th. But there was a problem. The slot machine experienced a malfunction that prevented the player and the casino personnel from realizing that the progressive jackpot had been won. By the time a review was completed, confirming that the jackpot had been won, the player had returned home to Arizona. Gaming Control Board's Enforcement Division initiated an extensive investigation to ascertain the identity of the patron. The investigation included the review of multiple hours of surveillance footage across multiple gaming properties, numerous witness interviews, a study of electronic purchase records, and the analysis of rideshare data obtained from the Nevada Transportation Authority and a rideshare company, which will remain nameless.
Yeah, I guess so.
When the Gaming Control Board successfully identified the player, they notified him, and he returned to Treasure Island to collect his jackpot, $230,000 jackpot.
Okay, so what happened here? A guy was playing, a guy or girl, I guess it said a male was playing at Treasure Island, hit a jackpot, didn't realize he hit it. The machine did not properly make him aware that a jackpot was hit. So maybe he lined something up. Who knows? They go every which way, right? And it didn't, the bells and whistles didn't go off. He didn't know. Nobody noticed it. He walked away, left $230,000 or whatever it was sitting in the machine, essentially.
Wow.
All right. So what's interesting about this? It would have been hard to cover it up over time, but somebody could have covered something up, right? But they didn't. They gaming was they found out something was wrong by some other internal checks and balance. Gaming was contacted, and they went through the procedure to make it right and get it to the right person.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of interesting because in my career of gambling and playing with some of the top advantage players in the world, a lot of them have a very negative opinion of gaming control and just thinking that they're in the pocket of the casino industry. And I've always found it, honestly, I've always found it to be the other way around. All my dealings with gaming control, they've been extremely fair, and they've always tried to do the right thing in terms of taking care of both the customer and the industry. So, we're not shills for them, but I think, credits where credit is due should be given. And,
Absolutely.
And they made this right.
Yeah, this is a great story. Can you imagine coming to Vegas, hitting a jackpot? I mean, it's great. It's what you want to happen.
I like it. And, there are other things, too, that checks and balances. When you get to that, how did the casino find it? For instance, one time I was playing at Gold Coast, and I don't know how I did it, but I was playing video poker, and I left my ticket in the machine. And when I came back, I thought about it half an hour later. I came back, and the ticket, the money was gone. Somebody had already cashed it out. And a couple of minutes later, I heard my name over the PA system being summoned to the cage. I went there, and somebody had turned it in.
How much was the ticket for?
Ticket was probably between $200 and $300.
Okay.
And some Good Samaritan, right? Good Samaritan turned it in, and they were able to look at that ticket and match it to my player's card and get my name and call me over to get it.
That's a reason to use your player's card.
Yeah, another reason to use your player's card, absolutely, because without the card, they wouldn't have been able to do that. Yeah. All right, so what I did is I asked them, I said, can you give me the name and contact for the person who turned it in? And they wouldn't do that because they want to protect identity. So I said, will you give that person my name and contact? And they did. And it was an elderly lady who found it. She contacted me. I told her to invite her best friend and come down for a buffet, and I met her, and we had a buffet, and I got $300, and she got a free buffet.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was. So, I mean, sometimes good things happen in the casino.
Was it a video poker machine?
I think it was, yeah. I think it probably was.
All right. And moving on, our mask update. Hey, Anthony, there's something to say this week, huh?
Yeah, there's finally something to say. Okay, so we in Nevada are in our 8th month, and it's not throughout all of Nevada. So let's say we in Las Vegas are in our 8th month since we were told to put the masks back on. I just read the other day, didn't know this, but saw research that came out that says Nevada is one of only 9 states that still have this, the mask mandate in place. The others being, let me look here, California, New York, Illinois, Delaware, New Mexico, Washington, Oregon, and Hawaii. And I've heard, or you would know better than me, that California is moving away from it soon.
That's what I've heard, yeah.
So it looks like the pressure, is starting to mount that the masks are going to go away. And Nevada tends to like to do, our governor tends to like to do what California does. Yeah. So if California rescinds theirs, I don't know if it's going to be a complete rescinding of their mandate. But if they do something, I think it's going to put more pressure on Nevada, and there's a good chance, again, I've been saying this for a while, but I think we're getting close to the mask mandate being taken away.
Okay, so we're getting close. And it's funny, you said that 8 months ago we were told to put the masks back on. I forgot that we were even told to take them off, that we could take them off in the first place.
Yeah, well, remember, we went through the whole shutdown. Everybody had to wear masks everywhere. Yep. And then they said, okay, no more, you don't have to. Right. And then everything spiked up, and all the variants came around.
Right,
and
pre-Delta, yeah.
Right, and they came back, and it's been 8 months now since we've been made to wear them inside, whether we want to or not.
So quickly we forget. Okay, that's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and
good luck in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, good luck.